my official duties or as may be specially permitted by law. So help me God. Congratulations.
May we now be seated. We will now proceed to the presentation of instruments of appointment to the ministers by the President. So you will come and receive the instrument of appointment in the order that I mentioned the names. First is Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs. Honorable, you can resume your seat. Honorable Elizabeth Ofoswe-Jare, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. Honorable Abla Jifa Gomashi, Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. Honorable Emilia Arthur, Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture. And last but not least, Honorable George Opariado, Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment. Thank you very much, Mr. President and Madam Vice President. Now, the newly minted ministers will proceed to sign the oath book in the same order as they receive the instruments of office. So, Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim would set the ball rolling. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Honorable Elizabeth Ofoswe-Jare will now proceed to sign the Book of Oaths. Honorable Abla Jifabumashi, Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, would sign the oath book. Honorable Emilia Arthur, Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, will now sign the oath book. Honorable George Opariado, Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, takes his turn to sign the oath book. Thank you very much, Minister. The President of the Republic will now append his all-important signature to the oath book. It is now my singular pleasure to invite the President to make some remarks.
Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, staff of the Presidency, distinguished ministers designate, families and relatives, my brothers and sisters. We've gathered here today to continue with the objective of assembling Ghana's leanest and most efficient government under the Fourth Republic. It was a solemn pledge made to the people of Ghana to do so, and there are both tangible and symbolic reasons for having such a lean and efficient government. First, significant savings running into millions of Ghana cedis can be made, and these funds can be channeled into meeting the felt needs of our citizens. At a symbolic level, it reassures the nation that their resources, which we hold in trust, are not meant for expenditure on the creature comforts of a legion of government officials. Rather, these resources must go into things that matter the most to our people. Putting together such a small team would naturally mean that very highly qualified and well-meaning people, both within and outside the NDC, will not see their dream of securing a position to serve their country in a ministerial capacity materialize at this moment. The exigencies of the time dictate that we change course and gravitate towards an era where emphasis is placed on efficiency and prudent management of our resources. So to the many highly qualified members of the NDC who fought hard to ensure our return into office and who would relish an opportunity to put their talent and skills at the disposal of the country, know that there are many other ways to make your presence and expertise beneficial to this nation. There still remain quite a number of positions outside of ministerial roles, and in due course, you may be called to serve in these capacities. We also seek to construct a nation in which the best and the brightest are encouraged to serve their nation, even if they are not overtly partisan. Let me at this stage congratulate the 5 ministers whom we have just sworn in today. There's no greater honor than to be called to serve your country. But with that honor comes great responsibility, especially in circumstances such as ours, where our nation is in dire straits with a rundown economy characterized by choking debt and all manner of sectoral problems. I'm sure you ministers designate, you ministers, you're now ministers, sorry. I'm sure you ministers have received tons of congratulations and celebration from your well-wishers and family for your nomination. But that must quickly give way to immediate commencement of work to address the needs of our people who have justifiably demanded quick action after enduring particularly bad governance over the last 8 years. All of you have enormous challenges to surmount in your respective sectors. It is precisely because of the scale of the problems that I chose you from among the many qualified people to serve as ministers in this government. It will not be business as usual. I have absolute confidence in your ability to get the job done and achieve measurable results that will turn the situation around and free Ghanaians from the clutches of poverty and suffering into which they've been landed. As I had cause to caution your colleagues who were sworn in barely 3 days ago, there will be no place for disrespect of the very people who elected us to serve. Their needs and suffering are real, and these realities are not to be denied by you. Your duty is to acknowledge the problems and challenges and work to overcome them. In constructing this government, I've taken heed of the need for balance and fairness. Every region is represented in government so far. As of the beginning of this week, we had attained 27% women participation in government, with 20 out of the 75 appointees to ministries, agencies, the presidency, and committees being women. This is only 3 percentage points short of the 30% we promised during our election campaign, and which has been passed into law under the Affirmative Action Act. Of course, I recognize the need for more to be done to ensure that as many women as possible find a place in government. And I commit to ensuring that this reflects in the remaining appointments that we're going to make. To you, the ministers we've sworn in today, you'll be leading sectors that, like everything else in our country, have been in distress for 8 years. To Madame Emilia Arthur, the fisher folk of Keta, Miamia, Mori, and Jamestown, and Elmina, and all the way to Axim, look forward to receiving premix promptly and having access to fishing inputs on a more equitable and sustainable basis. It will be your duty to meet these needs and develop the framework for tapping into the blue economy. To the Tourism Minister, Honorable Jifar Gomashi, you were a famed player in the creative arts before venturing into politics. Your colleagues are looking up to you to build the tourism space and also lift up the creative industry. You will have to curate the Black Star experience as contained in our manifesto and build on the gains that were made by previous efforts of your predecessor ministers. To Honorable Ibrahim Ahmed, not only will you grapple with the complex challenges of managing the local government system, you've been added responsibility to oversee government's relations with the chieftaincy and religious establishments. And as you notice, the function of sanitation has come back under your ministry. We expect you to put in a system that will ensure that we have clean cities and towns in our country. To Mr. Opariado, or Pablo, as you are affectionately known, you established a vast green army, which you ably commanded and led it to mobilize the youth of Ghana behind the cause of the NDC. It is now time to replicate that unique organizational ability of yours at the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment to deliver the goods for the millions of Ghanaian youth who aspire to living dignified lives and securing jobs. Your ministry is one in which I take a personal interest, and you will have my fullest support 24/7 to succeed in this ministry. At the Trade and Agribusiness and Industry Ministry, Honorable Ofosu Ajari will be expected to leverage available resources to ensure the growth of the sector. You have had ministerial experience, and I'm sure that you do well in this sector. You've been chosen for these tasks because I have trust in your ability to deliver. As you are aware, agribusiness is one of the focal objectives of our administration. It was added to your portfolio because of the synergy we want to create with industry and trade. But you must work closely with the Minister of Agriculture to achieve the task that we have set ourselves of creating a new crop of agripreneurs or agribusiness people who will create jobs and open opportunities for our young people. I must remind you that we have an expectant population that is wary of vacuous election promises, and our work is definitely cut out for us to achieve the expectations of our people. Let me once again congratulate you for ascending to this high office. And finally, bear in mind that you serve at the pleasure of the Ghanaian people, who have now signaled zero tolerance for poor governance. All eyes will be on you, and I have every belief that you will rise to the occasion. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. Thank you.
And after that rousing speech, we will move right away into a photo session. Now, this is how the photo session will be conducted. Each minister will have the opportunity to take a personal photograph with the president, after which, and the vice president, I must add, after which the minister will be joined by other senior government officials present for another photo session. And then the government officials will take leave to be replaced by the family of the said minister. But before we get to that, let me exercise a discretion that I have not been given to nominate the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs to respond to the President's admonition on behalf of his colleagues.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, who is always described as Ghana's first, the first female Vice Chancellor, and the first female Vice President of the Republic. Our distinguished Chief of Staff, senior government officials, my colleagues, ministers, distinguished brothers and sisters, brothers and friends from the media, let me seize this opportunity to, on behalf of my colleague ministers, thank the Almighty God for protecting and giving His Excellency the President to a lovely country like Ghana. To proceed and thank His Excellency for nominating my colleagues and my good self to serve in the various portfolios as has just been mentioned. Your Excellency, we know you. We've been with you. Our loyalty is to you. Our allegiance is to you. Everything that we are going to do as minister responsible for religious affairs, let me seize this opportunity to select a quote from the Bible, Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. And it says, in whatever you do, do it as if you are working for God and not for man. And I know, Your Excellency, that is your guiding principles. And that is a good reason that the people of Ghana have brought you back to lead us out of these complexities and challenges in which we find ourselves. Our pledge is that the 24-hour economy will start with us. Whenever you need us, whenever the stakes are high, just as we can count on you, you can count on me and my sisters. So, colleagues, ministers, join me to thank His Excellency for the honor done unto us. We know it has not been easy to select 60 out of 6.7 million people. And you know, our opponents are even saying that you cannot use 60 ministers to rule Ghana. And this statement was made by the minority leader yesterday on the floor of Parliament. But Your Excellency knows what he's about to do, and we believe in him. So this is the challenge that has been thrown to all of us, that we should apologize to Ghanaians and increase the numbers. But we know His Excellency has a plan and has a vision, which we are going to deliver. I thank you for this opportunity, for nominating me to speak on behalf of my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim. At this moment, the photo session will begin. Now, the place for the photo session will be right in front of the chairs of His Excellency the President and Vice President. So, Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, set the ball rolling by joining the President and the Vice President for a photo opportunity. Thank you. May I urge the senior government officials to join the President and the Vice President and Honorable Ahmed.
So you just witnessed the swearing-in ceremony of 5 of President John Dramani Mahama's ministerial nominees to fill various portfolios. We have the Minister for Trade, Industry and Agribusiness, the Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejari. We also have George Opariado, who is going to the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment. We also have the Honorable Jafar Abla-Gomashi, who is heading to the Tourism Ministry, and then there is the Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, who just spoke on behalf of his colleague. He is going to the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. And then the last person was the Honorable Emilia Arthur, who is going to the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. Now, we do know that there are some 6 more appointees who have been approved by Parliament, but are yet to be sworn in by the President. And then we also understand that the vetting committee is going to resume its vetting on Tuesday, the 28th of January 2025. So we will be here to give you all the updates as and when it unfolds. But currently the appointees or the newly sworn in ministers are having their photo up with the President, after which the ceremony will be drawn to a close. And so this is our coverage for you here at Channel 1 Television. We'll be here to bring you every update as and when we do have them. But for now, that is the events that we have. My name is Adjoa Tinkramadom. We're grateful for your company. Keep watching Channel 1 TV.